The Houston Texans, who do have an all-world quarterback, not quite Patrick Mahomes, but do have that sort of player that Bieniemy has been able to do wonders with. Anything under center, I call it, you can do it. We know Deshaun is in that same vein. But the Texans will not be interviewing Eric Bieniemy. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe there are people that they feel are better qualified. A lot of people talk about Josh McDaniels due to the fact that the whole Patriots tree could potentially come there with Caserio. It is interesting, though, about Jack Easterby, because you start reading a lot of reports, about his position, about being brought on by Bill O'Brien, that he was actually the one that was involved in releasing DeAndre Hopkins along with Bill O'Brien. A lot of reports, actually read an article in The Ringer about this, how a lot of people in the organization felt like there was a lot of back channeling, there's a lot of posturing, saying something to your face and then making moves behind people's back. It is interesting to see that he has been the one that has been able to kind of go untouched throughout this whole thing. Bill O'Brien got a lot of the blame, but now it seems like Jack Easterby is the one that's in control and making these personnel decisions, and he hasn't really gotten any attention at all.
Before you mention, I just want to mention Jack Easterby is the executive vice president of the Houston Texans, another person off the branch of the Patriots tree. He had actually spent 6 years in New England before coming over into the front office of the Houston Texans. So just to give you some context on who he is, now joined by his former Patriots compatriot, Nick Caserio.
The Texans as a whole, ownership in the McNair family, they have to figure out what it is that they want to do as an organization. Originally, it was about the Denver Broncos and what came from Denver and Gary Kubiak and Rick Smith, and that it was kind of like a mini Denver Bronco situation under Kubiak. Kubiak leaves, then in comes Bill O'Brien, and it turns into a mini New England Patriot situation that wins nothing, right? It's like now all of a sudden you go and you hire Nick, which you can hire who you want to. Jack Easterby comes from New England. You're going to hire people that you're familiar with and you're comfortable with and all those sort of things. But this is the same thing that we continue to go through in the National Football League. They pass over on other guys that are qualified that they think are not, or they claim are not, they don't interview well. It's a lot of guys that don't interview well, but that doesn't mean that they're not qualified for the job. And so now you got a once-in-a-lifetime franchise quarterback that is desperately pleading for you to bring in the right people. Now, the Eric Bieniemy, I don't know why Eric Bieniemy's not interviewing. Maybe Eric Bieniemy realizes that he doesn't want to be under those circumstances in Houston with that group of people from up in New England. Maybe he says that that's not what he wants to do, and there's better opportunities for him out there, like the Los Angeles Chargers, potentially Jacksonville, potentially Detroit, Atlanta. Maybe that's where he wants to be because he doesn't have to deal with that.
Fair enough. It's very curious, though, on the surface. Again, he has interviewed with the Lions and the Falcons, the Jets and the Jaguars. We will see if this is the offseason where he finally gets that coveted head coaching job.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.